Hello, guys. This is Emmy here, and here's a little recap of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days episode 4. This was a really interesting episode, so I'm really excited to get into it. Let's start with Laura and Birkin. We start the episode with Laura finally arriving to Turkey. She does arrive earlier, so by the time she gets to the airport or that she arrives at the airport, Birkin is still on his way to the airport. He's on the subway and he does text her to, kind of meet him in the subway. She goes to the bathroom to change her clothes. She wants to change into a pretty dress and, to meet him for this first time. And she talks a little bit about her weight loss and how even though she's very proud of herself for all the weight that she has lost, she is still a little bit self-conscious about her appearance. They do show a picture of her before losing the weight, which I'm gonna attach here in somewhere. And I was really shocked. She really looks so different and she looked very old on that picture. So I was like, wow, that she has she has had like a really big change and she looks amazing. She looks way younger, she looks way happier, she looks better in general. Um so yeah, she changes and then meets Birkin at the subway. When they get together, yes, it is a little bit awkward, but I feel like it's something that you can expect when meeting someone for the first time. She does mention how she is super excited and that he looks exactly how she has described him. Which she mentioned this dark romance, bad guy type of vibe, which well, if that's what she feels that he looks like, then we'll believe you. We'll believe you, girl. But yeah, I have I'm not sure about Burke, and I have to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure about him. Every time he talks about her, he does mention going to the US, having a better life in the US. He doesn't have a house. He mentions on the episode that sometimes he stays at a friend's house, then on another friend's house. So they're staying at an Airbnb. Yeah, you don't want to get with a man who is basically homeless. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot support this situation, and I do think that he's definitely using her for a green card, which her parents did mention during the previous episode, episode 3. They were her mom did mention like this guy is definitely using you. You don't know this man, and why would a 20 something year old want to be with you? Which I think some people need to get that into their brains that if someone this young wants to get with you, they'll probably have their, second intentions. But anyways, they get to the Airbnb and it is absolutely beautiful. I was actually surprised with how beautiful it looked and pretty big. And when they're on their way to get there, Lara mentions how they have all this chemistry over the phone, and then now it just feels really awkward, and they're realizing that they don't really know each other. Well, I think this is normal. I think sometimes people click right away, but sometimes it can take them a little bit of time to kind of get to that point of confidence or like trust where you were over the phone because now you are in front of each other. I just feel like Birkin is not really attracted to Lara, which is quite sad because she's a beautiful woman. I think she's actually over her league. Like, I think she could do way better. But if this is what she likes, if she likes it, I love it. Who am I to judge, right? Anyways, um, the point is that they get into the Airbnb. She's like, I'm very tired. We should like, kind of go to the bed for a little while. And he's like, oh yeah, but I'm not sleepy, so you should go to the bed and I'm just gonna watch TV and get you there. Red flag number 27. I was like, what do you mean you're not getting into the bed with her? I feel like the moment a woman has or is giving you those Okay, so like let's get to the bed with us, together, sorry. You should be there. You should be running there right away. But I think that's not Birkin's vibe, I guess. Because he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and watch TV. When she goes into the bedroom, she shows that she has some messages from her best friend Michael, which, girl, please just get married already. I'm sorry. I don't know why you're in Turkey with this man when you have someone in the US who is currently in love with you, and I think that you love him bad, because I don't think she's in love with Birkin. I feel like she has this fantasy she wants to fulfill with him. And he's like a little bit of a boy toy for her, which, baby, you could get a better boy toy that is not Belding, but if this is what you could do, like, I'll support. But yeah, I think that was, if she wasn't sure if Birkin was like her for real, I think this should be enough proof that he doesn't like her for real. Because what do you mean I'm gonna stay here and watch TV while you go to sleep? Um, Anyways, Michael has been super on top of the traveling. He like texts her that she had a ride and she had, you know, kind of wanted to get an update from her on how the trip was going. Anyways, she mentions that, well, maybe Birkin is not really attracted to her because he doesn't show that much enthusiasm into her being her. And I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I don't know why he wouldn't be, because she is very pretty. As I said before, Laura looks very good, but boys will be boys, and you never know what they want or what they like. And that's basically all on their segment. Um, my thoughts on this couple is that Laura should get back to the US ASAP and go be with her man, Michael. Birkin is not for you. I don't think Birkin likes you, and he's definitely using you for the US because he is a failure on his country. He thought that he was going to be this big thing, and he wasn't, because he didn't make it in the whatever sport he was doing. I think it was football or something, or soccer, however you guys call it. But the point is, he didn't make it, and now he's trying. You are his plan B. I feel like Laura is his plan B. Like, get to the US and maybe there I could make something of myself. He's homeless, he's poor, and he's not that pretty. So let's move on to the next couple. All right, the next couple is Forrest and Sheena, which I'm actually so excited to talk about because I think they are the absolute cutest. Seeing them meet each other for the first time at the airport was beautiful. You could feel like the chemistry and that they truly like each other. And I feel like on this season, they're the only couple where I see that there is this true, real love. Forrest mentions that they will be staying at an Airbnb, I guess, because Sheena's family wanted to charge them to stay at their apartment, which at their house, which I thought was quite crazy. Like, I'm sorry. Um, Asking people to pay you to stay at the place when this is your future son-in-law, he's gonna be part of your family. um it's just, I think it's insane, and I do understand, okay, there's gonna be three more people coming into your house, and the bills are gonna be a little bit higher, but I think it should come from the family staying over to kind of, it should come from them to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get, we want to add this money or contribute in this way to the house, because we know how it is to have an extra person here. But yeah, I thought that was insane, and I do understand why Forrest and his family might, you know, probably prefer to just stay over at an Airbnb. It does seem like the money is tight because they've been saving for 7 years to get to the Philippines. So yeah, I don't think, even having the audacity to ask them for money to stay at your daughter's home, like at your place, when this is gonna be your family in the future. I just think that's, yeah, it is definitely a no-no for me. They get into the Airbnb and it's super small. Their rooms share like are super close to each other. They ride side by each other, which I mean, it must. They do mention that it may be a little bit uncomfortable to get intimate because their parents are super close. And yeah, I think they're both super nervous, which I thought it was really cute since they're both virgins and this is gonna be their first time. So both of them are super, super nervous about this. And I just thought that was very cute. And I think they're very cute and they seem to be really in love. We get to see them the next day. China is taking them to Chinatown in the Philippines because she wants to show them her, she is mixed. Her mom has actually some Chinese heritage, so she want to show them, the Filipino and Chinese culture mixed together. She talks about how this is when they're on the way there, this is one of the first Chinatowns to be founded, even before the Spain got in the Philippines. And during their car ride, the mom asked them if they were intimate already, and Forrest mentions that they haven't. Um, Before that, Forrest had mentioned that they have decided to wait a little bit longer, meet each other a little bit more on person before being intimate, and they will probably prefer it when her mom and when his parents, not hers, are not around, because as I said before, the place is super small. But I was like, I completely understand, and I think more couples on this show should do that. And just wait a little bit to get intimate and not be rushing into it. They have waited for 7 years. I think every couple is different, every person is different, but I think it's cute that they decide to wait a little bit longer into that um to get intimate with each other. Anyways, on the car ride, his mom starts being a little bit pushy with the sex questions, telling them that, well, if you don't want to get intimate right away, you can, oral and things like that. And you can see that Sheena is very uncomfortable. I think Forrest noticed that and kind of puts a stop to her mom and tells her, like, okay, wait, this is too much. And his mom gets furious. I was like a little bit shocked because my opinions on his mom has changed a little bit throughout the episodes. Sometimes I'm like, okay, she's a little bit overbearing, and then like, no, I get it. But at this point, I'm like, okay, she is definitely overbearing and she is doing too much. It's definitely giving boy mom 100%. But anyways, the point is, Forrest puts a stop to it and she gets super mad. And she's like, yeah, Sheena already has control over him. Well, first she's like, I thought it was cute that he was defending her or, taking care of her owner, but I can see that Sheena already is controlling her. Like, and I was like, what? You're just doing a lot. They definitely don't want to talk about this with their parents, with you. It's definitely like you can tell Sheena is very uncomfortable about the questions and she's just pushing it. So of course Forrest is gonna put a stop to it. And I feel like her energy kind of changes on that moment, and that's when she decides in her mind, like I need to ask Sheena about the parent situation, about the money situation again. And once they get to Chinatown and they're eating and having a good time, that's when Forrest Mom kind of decides to, you know, start asking questions about the money situation again. Sheena giving her money to her parents, which it is her money. Like, please, if it is her money, why can't she give it to her parents? Like, I'm sorry. You guys are making this big of a deal that she needs to save to get to the US. Why isn't Forrest saving to get her to the US? Why does she need to save her money for that? And why can't she contribute on her house? The point is that Forrest Mom gets like super confrontational, and this part of the episode made me feel super uncomfortable because she was being so mean to Sheena, and Sheena was kind of having like a little panic attack and crying and trying to explain the situation. She was like, this doesn't make sense, and that her tears were like a manipulation tactic and like put down the tissue and without the tears. Does it make sense to you? She kind of asked to her to her husband. And Forrest kind of had to put a stop to it and be like, okay, because she was like, okay, my parents go trip me, and this is like a cultural thing. When if you're the breadwinner of the house, you must, you know, get the money. She's like, but why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell us? Da da da. And it's like, okay, like I'm sorry, I can't tell why she didn't tell you guys because you're being very annoying. You're being super mean, and she's crying her heart out, trying to explain to you what happened, and you're just being super mean to her. So I just felt really bad. I felt really bad for Sheena. And even though I do think Sheena and Forrest truly love each other, I think Forrest's mom is going to be the downfall to the relationship. Because this woman, I think she wants to be the main woman on her son's life, which is a thing that happens with a lot of boy moms, where once they feel a little bit threatened when they see their son get in a relationship or fall in love with a woman because they feel like they're gonna go to like the second place, and it's like, no, you're not gonna go to the second place. You're gonna stay in your place as a mother, but now there's gonna be this other person who they're gonna love in a different and very beautiful way. But yeah, I just feel like Forrest needs to put very big boundaries with his mom, because I don't know, if I was Sheena, I don't know if I could take it. Like, I don't know if love will be enough to take someone disrespecting me that way and to take someone coming at me in such a mean way for a situation that I'm explaining that it is cultural. And it is a cultural thing in a lot of third world countries where you need to support your parents. Once you get a job and you start making money, you need to support them. And it's really hard to get yourself out of that my mind space where it's like, okay, I need to also save up money for me and I need to also save up money for my life, because it just feels like it is your responsibility and you don't want to not support your parents. But anyways, let's move on to the next couple. All right, we continue with Lisa and Daniel from Nigeria. I think this might be the most clear scam of the season. We kind of get to see Daniel in Nigeria. He's having, cause he's of some religion, Nigerian religion that is like a Christian religion that is Nigerian. I'm gonna put it on the Igbo. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, guys. My English, it's not really working today. But the point is, he's going to this kind of cultural thing, asking if she would be the right person. The man doing the cultural, spiritual, not cultural, but religious, spiritual thing says, is she white? He's like, yeah, she's white. And she started mentioning some of the flaws that she has of as to why he's not sure if he should get with her and why he's having this ceremony asking his ancestors if she's the right one for him. And he's like, she been married 2 times. Um, and like the worst part is that she was intimate with a woman once. Which no, she haven't been intimate with a woman once. Her last 20 years of her life, she been dating women exclusively, and she is still married to a woman, which she also mentions on the episode that she's still married and that she plans on telling him during the trip, which I don't think this is a good idea because this man is very homophobic. Very homophobic. He says that it's not seen right in his culture that people don't do it because it's not okay. You can get killed for it. And it's like, okay, Lisa is putting herself in danger. I feel like going to this man who is heavily homophobic, telling her you've been intimate with woman once in your life when you've been dating woman for the last 20 years. You're still currently married to a woman and you plan on the street to tell him, yes, I'm still married to a woman. We're planning on divorce or we're in the process of divorcing. This is actually crazy. I need to, I feel like Lisa should be like, someone should be taking care of her. Um, I wish her daughter would push more into not, I don't want to say not allowing her to go to Nigeria, but it's like, yeah, not allowing her to go to Nigeria because this is insane. I'm sorry, this is actually insane. Anyways, he goes to this ceremony, this religious ceremony, and they basically tell him, yes, you can do it. This is gonna bring success and this is gonna be good for your life. Every time he mentions something about Lisa, besides the fact that she has big boobs, is the fact that she's gonna take him to the US and his life is gonna be better when he gets out of Nigeria. What is Lisa doing? This man is, oh, and also that she supports him financially. So of course she has to be perfect. Big books supports him financially and is from the US. Not even because he's being recorded, he can actually say reasons as to why this relationship is so good to the point where he is willing to move out of his country to be with you, but the fact that you're gonna get him a green card and that you support him, you currently support him while he's living in Nigeria. I can tell Lisa is a woman that puts his relationships very high on his life just for the reaction his her daughter had last episode, kind of low-key begging her to not get married on this trip. I can see how she was put in the second place every time her mother got in a relationship. And Lisa is definitely a dumbass bitch because Daniel is definitely using her for a green card, for money, for whatever he can take out of this relationship. And I don't even know what she's doing it. Those are my thoughts on this relationship. This is definitely a scam. Daniel is is using you. He obviously doesn't like you, and you could do so much better than this. I don't know. I feel so bad when I see a woman in these situations because I'm like, please wake up. Please, please wake up. Anyways, let's move on to the next couple. All right, we had Emma and Sayed from Morocco. Emma and Sayed. I feel like there's so little to say about this thing, about this relationship. Besides the fact that during this episode, she tells him that she was fired. She kind of cries to him like she was fired, and that has been very stressful for her, and that's why she's been so emotional or temper, well, in her feelings lately. He kind of like hugs her and supports her with the situation, and um, we do see him having breakfast and her letting him know that she was fired. Which I mean, yeah, we knew this. Uh, they go to the market. She is the queen of Birmingham because she's like, oh my God, it feels so good to see him buy stuff for me, and he's like, okay, girl, whatever. No one ever did this for me. You are a pretty girl. You could get a US man to buy some stuff for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you had to get to Morocco to obtain this. And it just makes me feel like you're dumb and like I can let me not say dumb, but like please, girl, like this is the bare minimum. He's doing the bare minimum. You're paying for it. Your stay here. It's like, I don't know. He's broke. He's not that pretty. He's not that nice. So I don't know what is happening. The point is that she's trying to kind of, I think she was trying to finally tell him that she was previously engaged to another Moroccan man, but he's like, no, I don't care about your past. I only care about you now. It's you that I care now. And he kind of shows her down a few times, and I feel like she gives up on on trying to tell him that she was probably married, but that kind of brings some red flags to her because she's like, okay, why are you so, you don't want to talk so much about the past because there is something that you're hiding from me. There's probably something that you're hiding from me. And she has this app or extension on her computer where she can see who he follows, and he only follows girls, and he follows girls all the time, and she can see whenever he follows someone new, and it's like she's all the time he's following girls all the time, da da da, and he's like, oh, you've been talking romantically to any of them? And that's what we see of their segment. Boring, yawning. I don't know what to say. Emma is the queen of bare minimum. Like, you need to have some higher standards, girl, because you're very pretty. And her wig is still pissing me off. Let's move on to the next couple. Yvonne and Annalyn, we met them on this episode. I think this is the first time, well, I didn't know. This is the first time that we're getting to know them. Yvonne is from the US and he works on a nursing home. And the special thing about this couple is that they got married virtually already. So they're already married. They got married virtually um during the pandemic because it was a way for him to be able to go visit her to the Philippines, where I think is where she's from. But then, they got married, but he never really went because he needed to save money. And he's like, yeah, because girls from the US like big money, like you need to make a lot of money and you need to have a big, you know what? So he's broke and a passport bro that doesn't really travel, so he just makes them online because he doesn't have any money to support or to have a girlfriend in the US, so he needs to get one from another country. Big red flag, in my opinion, but that is, if you ask me. Annalyn, she is very temperamental. He says that she only started being like that the last few months or the last few years, but that she wasn't like that at the beginning of the relationship. She does say that she always been like this. He always knew that she was like this, that she's not the usual Philippine woman, that she will say what she thinks and that she doesn't like to be told what to do. And period. I support woman, strong woman. I don't know what to say. Anyways, they already married. They got married virtually, but they haven't met yet. And he wants to meet her before, filing for a spousal visa, which I think is definitely, I feel like you guys should have met before you got married, but that's just me. Another thing is that Youngwon is still talking to, I guess, a previous or someone that he dated in the past or that he liked in the past. Annalyn doesn't like this, but he does it because she's very temperamental and it feels like he cannot talk to her and tell her his feelings. And that was basically it about their segment. Well, he does discuss the situation with his sister because she's the one to like mention that to him, like, okay, Annalyn be texting me that your brother, and this girl and this woman, and I want to know who the woman is. And he kind of tells her, like, yeah, this is a friend of mine. And we're just talking about life because we're both going through difficult situations. And I feel like I cannot talk to Annalyn because she gets mad super quickly. And so I have to, go to someone else, which I mean, I think it's disrespectful for your partner if you did have feelings in the past to still talk to this person, even if they told you like that makes them feel insecure or uncomfortable. But that's just me, in my opinion. But all right, guys, that was it from, this little recap on the episode 8, I think of. No, why am I saying 8? Episode 4. Episode 4. 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment. If you would like me to talk about anything else, let me know. I also want to make a video about Hidden Rivalry because that was the last show that I watched. So I'll probably be making that soon. If you guys would like to see it, subscribe so you can get a notification. And if you would like me to recap or talk about any other reality show or series, put it in the comments and subscribe so I can keep doing this. Bye.